High in the Scottish Highlands stands a range of mountains. These are the Cairngorms. They are ancient, wild and beautiful. Here, the second highest peak in all of Britain rises towards the sky. This is Ben MacDhui. Its Gaelic name, Beinn MacDhuibh, means the hill of the son of Duff, or perhaps the Black Pig, a link to ancient stories. The summit of Ben MacDhui is a vast Arctic-like plateau, a windswept expanse of shattered rock and sparse, hardy grasses. For much of the year, it is battered by fierce winds. Snow can linger here even into the summer months. Mist often clings to its upper reaches, swirling and dense. This creates an eerie, otherworldly atmosphere. Despite its harshness, Ben MacDhui supports a unique and resilient ecosystem. Hardy mosses and lichens cling to the stones. Tiny alpine flowers bloom briefly in the short summer. Ptarmigan, birds perfectly camouflaged in their mottled plumage, make their home here. Mountain hares, their coats changing with the seasons, dart amongst the boulders. The views, when the mist clears, are breathtaking. They stretch for miles across a panorama of peaks and glens, and it is here, in this majestic desolation, that whispers of something else are born. From this imposing landscape comes a remarkable story. It is a legend whispered by locals for generations. It speaks of a presence on the high slopes of Ben MacDhui. This presence has a name. In Gaelic it is Unveiled Mòr. This translates to the Big Grey Man. The name itself evokes a sense of something ancient and formidable. The Big Grey Man is not always described as a clearly seen figure. Sometimes it is said to be a huge, shadowy, humanoid shape, tall and gaunt, covered in short grey hair or perhaps dark moss. More often, however, its presence is felt rather than seen. Climbers report an overwhelming sense of dread, an unseen watcher. The sound of crunching footsteps on the gravel or snow, following just out of sight. These tales are not new. They are woven into the fabric of Highland folklore. They stretch back further than written records can easily trace. The stories of the Big Grey Man are not confined to ancient folklore. Many modern hikers and mountaineers have reported their own unsettling experiences. These are often individuals who are rational and experienced in the outdoors. Yet their accounts share striking similarities. A pattern emerges from these independent testimonies. It suggests a consistent phenomenon, whatever its true nature might be. A common thread in these reports is a sudden, overwhelming feeling of terror. This is not simply the usual caution one might feel in a dangerous environment. It is described as a primal fear, an inexplicable sense of being in immense danger. This panic can be so intense that it provokes an uncontrollable urge to flee. Seasoned climbers have abandoned their routes. They have run headlong down the mountain, sometimes risking injury, to escape this unseen presence. Another frequently reported element is the sound of footsteps. These are not the sounds of other climbers in the distance. They are distinct heavy footfalls. Perhaps the most famous account of an encounter with the Big Grey Man comes from a highly respected source. Professor John Norman Colley was a distinguished scientist. He was a professor of organic chemistry at University College London. He was also an accomplished and experienced mountaineer. In 1925, he gave a speech to the Cairngorm Club. In it, he recounted a terrifying experience he had on Ben MacDhui many years earlier, back in 1891. His words gave the legend a new credibility. Professor Colley described how he was descending from the summit of Ben MacDhui alone. It was a clear day initially, but mist began to roll in, enveloping the mountain. As he walked, he became aware of something. He said, "I began to think I heard something else than merely the noise of my own footsteps." Then the sounds became undeniable. He heard a crunch in the snow behind him. It was as if someone was walking, following his steps. He stopped. The sounds stopped. He started walking again. The footsteps resumed. Naturally, many have sought rational explanations for the legend of the Big Grey Man. One common suggestion is the Brocken spectre. This is an optical phenomenon. It occurs when an observer's shadow is cast onto mist or clouds below them. The shadow can appear greatly magnified and surrounded by a rainbow-like halo. This could account for some visual sightings of a large figure. However, it does not fully explain the auditory experiences like the footsteps or the intense feelings of dread reported by so many. Other scientific theories have been proposed. Infrasound, which is sound below the range of human hearing, can cause feelings of unease, anxiety, and even hallucinations. Wind passing over the cairngorm's unique terrain could potentially generate such frequencies. Fatigue, isolation, and the power of suggestion in a misty, disorientating environment could also play significant roles. Beyond scientific explanations, we must also consider the rich tapestry of Scottish folklore. The Highlands are steeped in ancient beliefs. Tales of nature spirits, fairies, and guardians of wild places are common. Eilean Mòr could be a modern manifestation of these older traditions. Ultimately, the enigma of the Big Grey Man of MacDhui endures. Whether it is a meteorological phenomenon, a psychological trick, a relic of folklore, or something else entirely, it continues to fascinate and unnerve.